Season a steak. For most meat lovers, nothing can get their mouth watering better than hearing the word steak or smelling it on the grill. The steak is a cut of meat and is cut perpendicular to the animal's muscle fiber to improve the tenderness of the meat. There are several types of steak and there are numerous ways of cooking it. Depending on the cut, some steaks cook faster than other steaks. The great thing about steaks is that this is a type food that can be served all year round. Whether it is winter, spring, summer, or fall, you can eat as much steaks as you want since it is readily available all year round. Other than that, it is very easy to cook, making it perfect for lunch or dinner. When you cook your steak, one thing that you should never forget to do is to season it. Seasoning the steak allows you to infuse flavor to the meat to enrich the taste of the steak. There are 3 different ways to season a steak: rubbing, marinating and adding sauce. For most cooks, rubbing and marinating are the most common and easiest way of seasoning the steak. Choose the steak that you want to season. Steaks come in different cuts, sizes, and kinds, and it is important to choose the steak because there are some steaks that are good for marinating while there are some that are better with rubbing when it comes to seasoning. Consider the size of your steak. Since the cuts of the steaks are rarely uniform, some cuts may be too thick while other may be too thin. If the steak cut is a bit thick, it is best to marinate it as it could help in tenderizing the meat. If your steak is a bit average-sized or thin, rubbing seasoning on it will do just fine. Marinate your steak. In case your steak is the cheaper or thicker type of cuts, then it would be best to season it by marinating it. Marinating involves mixing wet and dry ingredients to soak the meat in. You can mix different ingredients, but it is important to have an acidic liquid in the marinade like vinegar or any citrus fruit. The acidic content of these liquid can help in tenderizing the meat and making it more flavorful. The simplest marinade for steak is 1 cup soy sauce, 1/2 cup vinegar or citric fruit, 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 1/2 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon of pepper and 3 to 5 cloves of garlic. Soak your steak in the marinade for at least 2 hours for the flavors to sip in. Rub seasoning on your steak. For more expensive or thinner steak cuts, rubbing seasoning on it will be better. Since these steak cuts are more tender, it does not need tenderizing. You can directly rub the seasoning on the steak and cook it. There are 2 types of rub seasoning: the wet rub and the dry rub. The wet rub uses wet ingredients like oil or pastes, while the dry rub uses dry ingredients like herbs and spices. The basic rub seasoning is sprinkle an even layer of salt, pepper, garlic, rosemary, and oregano. After you have seasoned your steak, it is now ready for cooking. Grill it, pan fry it, or cook it any way you like. Once it is cooked, you can enjoy your steak and taste how satisfying and flavorful your seasoning was.